Picture two people, same age, same city, same starting salary. Now fast forward 20 years, one of them is sitting on $300,000 in savings, zero debt, calm, in control. The other, stressed, living paycheck to paycheck, wondering where all the money went. Same income, completely different outcomes. And here's the part most people miss. The difference wasn't luck, it wasn't crypto, it wasn't some secret investment strategy, it wasn't inheritance or a lucky break. The difference was rules. Simple, almost boring rules. The kind people ignore because they seem too obvious to matter. But those rules quietly decide who builds wealth and who doesn't. Stay with me, because once you see these rules clearly, you'll start looking at money very differently. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is about building real wealth. Not the flashy kind you see on social media, but the quiet kind. The kind that gives you freedom, security, and peace of mind. Today we're talking about minimalist money rules. And minimalism here doesn't mean living on rice and noodles. It means removing financial noise so the signal becomes obvious. Because most financial advice is intentionally complicated. Today we're stripping everything down to 5 rules that actually matter. Let's start with the first Rule 1. Spend less than you earn. Yes, you've heard this before, but hear it again. Because almost everything in personal finance starts right here. Researchers who studied lottery winners, professional athletes, and people who suddenly receive large inheritances found something surprising. A shocking number of them end up broke. Not because the money ran out immediately, but because their behavior never changed. When income increased, their lifestyle increased even faster. A bigger house, a newer car, more expensive habits. And suddenly someone who used to struggle on $50,000 is now struggling on $500,000. Because wealth isn't about income, it's about the gap. The gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where wealth grows. And people who understand this protect that gap like it's sacred. Because it is. Rule 2. Never let a dollar sit idle. Here's a question most people never ask. What is your money doing right now? Because every dollar is either working for you or quietly losing value. Inflation guarantees that. If $10,000 sits in a basic bank account earning almost nothing every year, its purchasing power shrinks. You don't feel it, but it's happening. The minimalist solution is simple. Give every dollar a job. Emergency savings, investments, future goals. You don't need complicated strategies. You don't need to trade stocks every day. For most people, a simple low-cost index fund is enough. In fact, legendary investor Warren Buffett has repeatedly said that most investors would be better off simply buying an S&P 500 index fund and holding it long-term. That's not beginner advice. That's wisdom from one of the greatest investors in history. Let your money work and let time do the heavy lifting. Rule 3. Build a financial moat. Let's talk about something real for a moment. Most financial disasters don't start with luxury spending. They start with bad timing. A car breaks down, a medical bill appears, a job suddenly disappears, and overnight, someone who was doing everything right falls into financial chaos. This is why the financial moat matters. Most people call it an emergency fund. But think of it like the moat around a castle. Without it, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis. With it, life's surprises become manageable. The rule is simple. Keep 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved in a safe, accessible place. It may not grow your wealth quickly, but it protects everything you've already built. And that protection changes how you make decisions. You stop making choices from fear. You start making them from strength. Rule 4. Eliminate high-interest debt. Debt is not just a number on a screen. Debt is a claim on your future time. Every dollar you owe means your future self has to work to pay it back. Plus interest. Think about that for a moment. You're literally sending your future labor to someone else. Now, not all debt is evil. A reasonable mortgage on a home can make sense. Student loans that create real career opportunities can be worthwhile. But consumer debt, credit cards, high interest loans, buy now, pay later traps. Those are financial quicksand. And the rule here is simple. Attack high interest debt aggressively. Not slowly. Not casually. Aggressively. Because every dollar of debt you eliminate is a dollar you keep forever. An instant raise. No promotion required. Rule 5. Define what enough means. This might be the most important rule, and almost nobody talks about it. We live in a world that constantly moves the goalpost. A bigger house, a nicer car, a higher salary. And the moment you reach one goal, another appears just slightly out of reach after. So people keep running. But they never feel like they arrive. Financially stable people do something different. They define what enough looks like. And once they reach it, they stop moving the finish line. That doesn't mean they stop growing. It means they stop chasing endless upgrades. Because true wealth is not just about numbers, it's about peace of mind. Let's go back to those two people from the beginning. Same age, same city, same starting salary. One followed simple rules, quietly, consistently, without drama. The other kept waiting for the perfect investment, the perfect raise, the perfect opportunity. But wealth rarely comes from dramatic moves. It comes from boring consistency. Spend less than you earn. Put every dollar to work. Build a financial moat. Destroy high interest debt. And define what enough means. 5 simple rules. Follow them long enough, and your future self will look back at this moment and call it the turning point. If this video gave you one idea worth keeping, consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next video.